In a significant move towards gender equity in security operations, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, with support from the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women, United Nations Women, has launched the Enhancing Gender Responsive Security Operations and Community Dialogue Project 2. During a briefing in Abuja, the Senate President and Chairman of NID's Governing Council, along with the Speaker of the House of Representatives and alternate Chairman of the Council, emphasized the project's importance through remarks delivered by the Director General of NIDS, Abubakar Suleiman. Now, let's get to Mavis Akko for further insights on this report.
It is evident that the security sector plays a critical role in conflict resolution and peace building, yet gender gaps persist in policies and operational procedures. Today in Nigeria, a project aimed to sensitize the National Assembly and security sector institutions on the importance of making their laws and policies more gender responsive is underway. This is because the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, in collaboration with UN Women, has engaged in advocacy visits, consultative meetings, and technical support activities to promote gender-responsive legislative and policy reforms in the security sector.
While the security sector institutions have strove on several occasions to achieve their mandates over the years, huge gender gaps are visible in their policies and operational procedures at all levels, as well as their enabling legislations. Yet, ensuring women's meaningful representation in the security sector is critical to building an inclusive, responsive, and accountable security sector that reflects the diversity of the community it serves and better respond to their needs. This has been increasingly identified as a key strategy and supported by global normative frameworks, including the United Nations Security Council resolution. As a result of this, there is need to review the security sector institutional legislation to become more gender responsive.
The Project 2's specific objective was outlined as the DG NILS said the establishment of the Legislative Center for Security Analysis and the NILS Democracy Radio further demonstrates the Institute's commitment to advancing gender inclusion and democratic practice in Nigeria.
When an armed robber enters a house, the man will know how to find his way. Even while the man was trying to find his way, he has forgotten that he has children and wives at home. At that point in time, his interest is just his interest. It's only the woman, that mother, that say, oh, my children, let me carry them. So the point we are making is that in the course of searching for panacea towards insecurity, our target has to be the weaker sex, women. How do we be gender responsive? How do our security sector policies and legislation see them as the main fulcrum that we need to address? We have also gone ahead to establish the Gender and Inclusivity Unit under the Office of the Director General, same last year, in a bill to demonstrate our commitments in advancing gender inclusion on all fronts of societal engagement and to deepen democratic practice in Nigeria.
Delivering the speech of the UN Women Country Representative to Nigeria, Peter Mancha, stated the need for gender-responsive laws in the security sector.
We have also supported the different security institutions to adopt operational guidelines to be more gender-responsive in line with the provision of UN Security Council Resolution 1325. And we are happy with the progress being made. However, in the second phase of the program, we discovered that having policies adopted by these institutions is not enough. We need laws to be amended, and we look at the security laws, the Armed Forces Act, the Police Act, the Civil Defense Act. They were not gender responsive, they were not gender sensitive. And we now engaged NILS as an implementing partner to conduct an assessment to look at the gender gaps that exist in those laws. And NILS also engage with the legislators in the National Assembly through strategic advocacy to advocate that these laws should be amended. And I'm happy we got very positive response from the lawmakers that yes, indeed, these laws, when they were adopted, they did not consider some gender considerations, especially for women.
In alignment with global frameworks, including UNSCR 1325-2000, the project seeks to increase women's participation in peace and security processes, enhance public perception of women's role, and foster community dialogue between women affected by conflict and security sector actors. Meanwhile, the press briefing concluded with expression of appreciation to UN Women, the leadership of the National Assembly, and stakeholders for their unwavering support in promoting gender-responsive security operations and community dialogue in Nigeria. From the nation's capital, Mavis Ako, KAFTAN TV News.